Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Summer Premier Qualifiers. It's week 3, and we're here to start things off hot. My name is Evan Rayner. Rain Day. This is Nick Keogh, Hi-Rez, pretty hair. And before we get into the action, Nick, I think you got something to say.
Guys,
who are these lovely guys?
look at these two handsome gentlemen for me. This is Dave and Kenneth. I don't know their last names. Bellafroid.
Bellafroid. The Bellafroid boys.
These are the owners of the Paladins World website. Today is their birthday. There are two handsome twins. Of course, that means they share the same birthday.
Yes.
So let's get a happy birthday, Dave and Kenneth spam in chat for these guys. They do a lot for us. They make a lot of our lives easier. A lot of our broadcasts look better, and we thank them for all the hard work that they do.
Yeah, just my quick 2 cents. Happy birthday to you fellas, and again, just really honoring the work that you've put in. I remember first getting started in here, you guys were the two producers that I worked with from a community side alongside Vox, just starting casting, doing qualifiers for the first DreamHack, and it's funny, they were in the DreamHack official trailer recap of last year, just walking in the market. So somehow somebody said, these two guys are special. I need these guys walking in the market, nobody else. And so you definitely have had a special place in my heart. Thank you so much for your work and your energy. And of course, if you just saw before we get in there, console, it's coming. Paladins is there, and when the Xbox One X, which was announced at E3, comes through, console Paladins will be available on the first day in native 4K.
Wow.
So we were talking about 4K TVs as well. Are you saying it's worth it?
I think it is.
Grab it.
A couple of YouTube videos that I've watched have definitely proven to me that 4K is noticeable and it's worth having.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to get the fresh definition there on whatever you're watching. Let's take a look at today and get into the standings, get into where we sit with all these teams, because it is week 3, which typically, from what we see, is kind of a swing week for these teams.
So Flashpoint sitting 0-3. They've got a long way to climb, and basically what has to happen if they want to get a spot is WASD have to lose actually, I don't think Flashpoint can qualify at this point because WST and D69 going up against each other. Flashpoint have to win the rest of their series, and D69 would have to lose every single matchup that they play coming up in the next couple of weeks. GankStars are getting close. I think the magic number here is around 4.
Yeah.
So that's what teams are going to be looking for. GankStars potentially could look to qualify today if they can scoop that 4th win.
Yeah. And so this next game, it's going to mean so much for GankStars. If they get this win over D69, it creates a lot of more interesting scenarios for WASD and D69 when they play. And it also just means GankStars, they're pretty much signing their tickets to Valencia today. So as the first game gets underway, we'll be on Jaguar Falls. Standard, typical. What better way to start a momentous set like this than just go with the straight, easy peasy map?
Yeah, both these teams are really good at this map in particular. I think D69, we've seen them pull out triple tank. Shipa's Fernando did come out on this map, and likewise we've seen the opposite of that, where just they go with the 1 tank, and normally if they go 1 tank, GankStars are going to be going for something like a Mako, something that they're very comfortable with. Yeah,
we saw yesterday in the Brazil community tournaments and North American community tournaments a lot of different play styles. The 1 tanks did show up. Usually in D69 and GankStars case, we do see the double tank just giving up that sustainability on the point, that kind of long-term fighting style.
Yeah.
I don't know, it doesn't seem like most of these teams are going to go for that route.
So not only D69 do still like Makoa, but they realize that it is very important to GankStars, and they enjoy having it. Thiel, it's his 100% comfort pick, so they're going to take that away first. But the Bomb King Ruckus, definitely a good way to fight back.
Delicious picks there. Ruckus, super good right now. So much DPS, so much sustain, great hook bait as well. It's exactly what you want on the end of a Dredge Anger if you are GankStars, because he could probably survive the hook.
Do they take Andro here?
I think that's a big call, Nick. You called it right there. Andro and Inara rounding things out. So they get their damage. This is a close map, really good for flankers like Andro. I expect GankStars to follow up with a Lex to counter that. And maybe some, they don't need blaster damage here. Maybe a Maldamba here just to get their heal out of the way and have a viable pick at the end.
There it is. So I think Maldamba probably a little bit better than Saris at healing up 2 tanks.
Yeah.
As well as both Makoa and Inara count as line-of-sight blockers for Saris Ultimate. So that's definitely something that D69 have the reaction time, and they know kind of how to look for it. Certain ultimates are like if you see Androxus dash 3 times straight up in the air, you're kind of like, oh, what's he going to do?
Yes.
So there are certain cues and ways that players are going to behave that will telegraph what they're looking to do. So maybe that's why we go for the Maldamba here instead.
last pick. Don't expect something crazy interesting, and right as I say it, they take the wind out of my sails.
Wow.
And Ashe comes through as the final pick. It seems like maybe GankStars have something up their sleeve here with this triple tank combination, and Ashe playing that bruiser role for them.
They're very tanky, to say the least. I think it sounds weird to say, but I think Bomb King is actually the squishiest character in this lineup,
2,600
sitting at
health
2,600 HP.
or above.
Because I'm pretty sure, yeah, Maldamba is somewhere around that neighborhood too. We'll see how D69 handle it. Combustible for bugzy's Drogos is the first legendary selected here. And should be pretty interesting to see these two teams going head-to-head here on
Nick,
Jaguar
I'm dancing.
Falls.
I'm dancing right now because I think Ashe, the way that Ashe is really meant to be played, is she fits this role that's outside of all of the class themes. She's not really a front line because she has this. I feel like if you were going to take this and apply Ashe to Smite, she would be a warrior, which is not quite a guardian, you know, and not quite a damage dealer. She's in between. She's got a lot of ability to bruise, and I wonder if GankStars are going to play her that way.
Yep, she's a big fat bully, I guess, to put it lightly here. So both these teams moving out. GankStars with the Ashe Barrack. I mean, this is triple tank, but all three of their tanks definitely do good damage.
They really, really do. And Laizy, he's not sitting on his laurels waiting for the tanks to finish up the damage. Oh, 2 big shots. Bugzy goes down immediately. Laizy already kicking things off for the fight.
Yeah, great start to the fight. Grumpy Bomb comes out to cover his retreat. It's the only kill that's happened thus far. D69 have drawn back a little bit as a result of that loss. And Gerrah's under some pressure now as well. Thiel will be playing the Ashe. Might need a shoulder charge out of here. It looks like he is running a battering ram for that safety in his charge.
So good, 90% damage reduction. He leaves that encounter with 700 health. A very, I mean, Drogos can one-shot him at that point, but not with the legendary coming through. We'll take a look at that mid-round to see what everyone else is using, but in the back line, Laizy's just been a tyrant.
Yeah, the difference here this time, though, is that PERDO and gerrah are a little bit more close to him, and Bird is going to go down. As a result, eLvenpath does lose his life, and now 2 more kills coming the way of GankStars. It's a 3-for-1.
This Ashe pick is just so exciting for me. See SunCommander getting 3 kills on the Ruckus. It is a tank-dominated game. They know that's where the damage is coming from. And with the emote there, he looks to secure this first objective for GankStars. 96% and counting, most likely going to tick all the way over and give them the first point in this match.
Now D69 giving up a decent amount of push here. They need to be pretty careful about how they go about this, because giving up a little bit of momentum at this stage of Jaguar Falls, giving up a quick, look for the knockoff there, doesn't actually find it. Can't get the kinetic burst either, as Nara is CC immune.
Oh my god, that was a fantastic attempt there. Shipa actually finds the kill. Gerrah finds one more, and eLvenpath does a great job of just pulling away any potential support Thiel might have had. Survived for quite a while, but D69 go ahead and rally to the call and take down Ashe to start things off. 1:50 now for them to defend here. You know, what do you think? This triple tank had some success early, but is this going to be able to be continuous success here on this map for them?
Yeah, the thing about it is the King Bomb does come through Laizy, hitting his first ultimate of the day. Good start for him. You know, it can always be a little bit shaky for him out of the gate, but he does find it. Gets 1 pick off, and now that momentum restored to their team. We'll have to see. It's going to be important to keep that momentum high early.
And it is so much on the back of Laizy, I think, to really find the burst damage in the kills. There's so much consistent DPS from Ashe and from Ruckus and from Barrack, even Maldamba with the gourd, but it's just Laizy who's going to need to put that 900 to just burst somebody down from a little bit of life and then right down to the grave. Back to the base they go, and Bugzy takes Thiel down. That's a big start. Up in the air is Salvo. Drogo's usually good with dealing with the tanks, and right now Bugzy seems to be hitting some big plays, but SunCommander takes him down.
Receives a ton of healing, but it's just not enough. bonkar under his dome shield will go down as well. One gets Dredge anchored in. Thiel over on the right side flank, trying to stay alive. Shipa keeps himself safe for the time being.
Just boxy out of sight. Nobody can get to him, or they have to get around, go through the danger zone, and allows Saris to heal him up. gerrah right when you need him. In fact, these two teams have such prolific healers that you can almost count on, even if you're low, them coming to your rescue. It's not a safe bet, but they're usually always there.
Now 30 seconds remaining. You heard Bomb King talk a kinetic burst just to get gerrah out of position. Now Thiel's going to go for the ultimate. Dread Serpent comes out in combination.
Right onto the payload. That's exactly where you want to use that one. But he's got to get healed up now to make this count, and he gets pulled away. eLvenpath trying to do it. No CC immunity. Kinetic burst comes out too late. Doesn't combo both of those skills. Could have knocked eLvenpath off, and now Thiel is facing death.
slowly slaughtering him with that dredge anchor. 4 for 2 right now. D69 just needs to take down bonkar, and they'll be all set in stone for this overtime. It's going to be started up by bonkar.
Wow.
Slowly expiring out, and I don't think anyone from GankStars is going to be able to reach this in time.
That's eLvenpath with a double kill there. Spray for good reason, my man. What a great play there by the Makoa, and really more taking advantage of Thiel maybe showing his lack of experience with Ashe, because when you play her more, you just charge that kinetic burst before you dash as a reaction, knowing you're trying to get him off the ledge.
Combustible for bugzy's Drogos, in case you guys missed it. Mother's Grace for Shipa's Anara. It's going to be a Darkstalker for PERDO's Androxus. Half Shell for eLvenpath's Makoa, and Mortal Reach for gerrah.
Laizy running the typical accelerant, and SunCommander aerial assault is all familiar things. Battering ram, as we mentioned earlier, for Thiel. Ripen Gourd coming through for Maldamba, and Architectonic's Barrack. I'd love to take a look at Thiel's loadout here as well. One of the things that I use as Ashe when I'm playing her is an additional kinetic burst knockback. It doesn't seem like any of the players we've seen actually use that.
He doesn't look like he has any.
They go for the Vanguard 3, but that 32% extra when you hit that 4. Great initiatory CC immunity there in the Earthen Guard makes her very invulnerable. Nara, pretty good tank against what Ashe wants to do.
Definitely. D69 being a little bit more careful. PERDO covering this flank, but now he's under some heat. Gerrah's going to be able to get him topped off. Laizy's not had the same angle back to the back line. Here comes the Dragon Punch as well. It's going to find Thiel.
Big time stuff there. Laizy gets stunned out as well thanks to the seismic crash. And gerrah able to follow up on the kill. SunCommander on a 1 streak, trying to keep he and bonkar alive as they slowly retreat back to the safety of their own base, while eLvenpath looks to push the issue.
57% captured already. Everybody topped off from D69, so it's going to be a fresh defense and a tough one to break at that. GankStars come back in. Here comes the shoulder charge. It's walled off.
Beautiful plays there. Nara so good at countering what Ashe wants to do. She has the CC immunity. She's got the wall to block the escape, and that's how you deal with this Ashe. But right now, this is how you deal with D69. Thiel and Laizy pick up 2. Bugzy and eLvenpath go down, and D69 look to be crumbling.
Solid stuff there. I mean, Laizy looked like he was in trouble, right? But just the fearless amount of follow-up that comes from GankStars. And granted, they have 3 tanks, but they were right there with him. They are functioning as a unit. They don't want to lose a single piece of this puzzle. And
I love that this meta, you know, has allowed Ashe to be here. And eLvenpath, knowing that the charge is coming through, and Thiel just trying to stay alive. He might actually turn this around. Of course, if he moves out of this space of invulnerability, he can actually take damage. So he wants to stay there and can't chase Bugzy away.
Beautiful stuff here. Just coverage. Coverage is the name of the game with these ultimates here from the GankStars. PERDO falling so low. Laizy's going to put 1 more bomb and send him on his way home. But Thiel, his ultimate buys them, 10 seconds. Then they shift through the fight, and they're met with a Hexafire. There's just always an ultimate somewhere on the battlefield providing that coverage safety, whether it's offense, whether it's defense. Nice gourd, though, from Bird coming up over the top. I see you.
The more I think about it, the more I like the way Ashe used that. Thiel just using it to buy time and create space, keep himself alive, but also distract Bugzy and eLvenpath and trying to take him down. They realize it's just not worth it. Then they go to the point fight late. Things are already shifting towards GankStars' favor. Minute and 55 seconds left on the clock, Nick. This push is really in contest here by both teams.
Still has momentum right now on top of a gourd. Both members of GankStars there should be safe for the time being. PERDO has fallen. There's 2 more members low. Thiel's pushing the issue up on this right side high, with not only Laizy, but SunCommander working his way up there as well.
And still no knockoffs from Thiel. It's something that the way that they're playing this upper ledge, it's almost as if D69 is baiting him to try to go for a knockoff and waste some time there, because it doesn't seem to be panning out whatsoever. But Bugzy into the Dragon Punch, looking for his prey. Will he be hunted, or will he be the hunter? Gets 1 kill, but goes down right after thanks to Laizy.
That's the 2nd time he's done that. He kind of surged forward back. He tried to get back to his team, but you have to pass through the entire GankStars squad. So now he trades out, loses life for it. Now D69, they've already lost 2 in response.
I'm telling you, these walls by Shipa are so important for D69 holding this. He's blocking off all the follow-up. Any momentum that they would have gained off of getting those 2 kills from eLvenpath and Bugzy, go away.
Nothing from that seismic crash there. Laizy rolling out into the back line, looking for something, looking for anything. He's going to find a stun, and he doesn't lose his life until a couple of more shots come out from him. He gets so much more damage into that fight. The conversion's going to come through as a result. I thought he was dead the second he let that ultimate off, if not sooner.
Well, it just the way you said ultimates and ultimates and ultimates, Laizy almost a distractor, and now SunCommander able to stay on his 14 streak, follow up with the Hexafire, gets so much damage, actually pulls 2 kills in that last fight. Probably the biggest game-changing moment for them as they go 2 points up now against District 69.
Yeah, and the items are about equal here, and where that all went wrong was, it sounds weird to say it, but that Dragon Punch was sort of the turning factor. They did lose bonkar, but immediately losing 2 more members. A little bit, bugzy's passing was a little bit strange to me from there. Instead of going back up through the cubby hole that he came from, he tried to go under the bridge, hits his head after the thrust. I don't know if it was panic. He doesn't seem like a guy that panics often, but maybe fly away back towards the point. Just don't give up your life right then and there.
Interesting thoughts. D69 have to do something different, you know, so looking at how they can impact this game more, it's going to be a big test of their skill coming back from this. bugzy gets 1 kill on the bonkar, and the dome shield doesn't get any value, but SunCommander, he's been the big deal, and with combustible, they're going to be able to knock him off, but aerial assault's going to put him right back up onto the bridge, so it's just a big rocket versus a ton of miniguns, and bugzy gets him down yet again. Great mid-air play by both players.
A little bit of self-damage there from the salvo, but most of that's going to make it through, and more precision fire spits. bugzy's going to win out this war for his squad and provide the zone that they need.
And that is a big battle that he won. If SunCommander stays up there freely firing, bugzy doesn't address that, I don't think D69 come back and win this point fight. So it is still a game, ladies and gentlemen, as these 2 juggernauts of European Paladins face off again. They make it an interesting contest till the very end.
Architectonics Barrack on his way out. Turrets being cleaned up, 2 minutes on the payload push. bonkar's still low, and PERDO doing what he can right now, but the triple tank there's just so many tanky targets on GankStars. Nobody is, you know, squishy. Nobody is a great target for this Androxus. He's going to have a tough time winning any of these matchups. He goes down to SunCommander. eLvenpath's trying to escape with his life.
Very interesting. That's the second time I've seen Thiel, as Laizy goes into the ultimate here, just commenting on a play that I witnessed between him and eLvenpath. You know, a second time I see him do the shoulder bash, charge the kinetic burst, and then use the kinetic burst. I wonder if he's going for something intentional here. Maybe just trying to extend the amount of time that someone's juggled, not going for the distance, just to maybe isolate a target and CC them so his teammates can follow up.
It's weird, right? Because you would think that's Thiel's signature thing with Makoa, is throwing people off the map. Maybe he's having a tough time pushing them off the map. It's a whole different universe for him. He doesn't have any of the cards to supplement knockback on either kinetic burst or shoulder bash.
Yeah.
So he's going to need both if he wants to launch somebody any considerable distance.
I really think that those cards are a lot more valuable than these players are looking at here, and I'd much rather take it over the Vanguard. Don't think you need the extra 24% damage reduction, but hey, it's hard to pass up. Those flat stats, definitely very valuable, and the pros opting for that this time around. Ash still getting played for really the first time in Europe right now that we're witnessing, and by the best team no less, so it seems like she has definitely made her way into viability.
bugzy pinned down behind a tree will eventually fall, losing his life. The rest of his team on the retreat now with 40 seconds remain. Ultimates available for everybody except eLvenpath on District 69. And likewise for the GankStars, Laizy and bonkar, the only ones off the mark.
And the way that GankStars are responding with the 3 tanks has made it difficult for D69 to find any kills off of Makoa. They just have so many healthy targets. As we mentioned, 2,600, the lowest health champion on the side of GankStars. So no one that eLvenpath hooks is going to go down easy.
This is big. Not only do they give up bonkar a little bit out of position, but Thiel gets hooked in and actually does get cleaned up. Laizy's able to answer back onto 1 target, but he's only got 80 HP left. Can he win this 1v1 with bugzy? He will, with 80 HP to his name.
20. Oh my God, it felt like he was at the precipice of dying. Laizy comes back with an incredible play and just stacking up the numbers on a 6 streak for him. And the defense is successful off the back of, I think, 3 clutch kills by Laizy.
Absolutely. I mean, they lost bonkar and they lost Thiel for absolutely nothing. 2 for nothing. Pushing into the base, that is disaster territory, because that's where D69 can get that snowball secured and locked down easily and just make it a struggle for GankStars to get back on their feet. But, you know, saving grace plays there from Laizy to keep them up. 3 points to do. Comeback mechanic is still going to be enabled for D69, but GankStars have the ultimates they need to try and box this one out. Likewise, though, basically every ultimate is ready to go for D69. Level 3 offensive items as well as level 2 defensive items for most members, and even some healing, some rejuvenates thrown in there for a couple of tanks.
I'm curious about the approach that how much time does Thiel distract the back line? That, I think, is going to be one of the biggest tales here. And how well does this King Bomb ultimate go for Laizy? Thiel still going onto the side, trying to control this room because he has so much control over knocking people off and already going to retreat. So not much is gone for him. bugzy gets him out of the fight immediately, but loses his life in response.
Shipa going to wall off the majority of them, including eLvenpath, who then gets stunned out, who then gets Dread Serpent. So much control over this team fight. Bird is locking it down.
Great stuff by Bird to follow up on his own initiation. That's a great great support player, knows when to go in, knows when to back up into safety and keep him and his teammates alive by a result. SunCommander on a 24 streak. They need to deal with this ruckus quickly.
Completely nullifying Ancient Rage as well. Just locked down for the majority of the time. Shipa, in fact, walled eLvenpath off. Don't know if that was a mistake or not. Nice reactionary middle shield. Going to absorb some of that damage over time from the combustible. Here comes the King Bomb as well, and just coverage, coverage, coverage. The name of the game, looking to give themselves an early man advantage, and they will.
And it's only on eLvenpath, so you got to say that there's still a way for them to come back in. Inara, a decent tank by herself, and if SunCommander goes down here, she's going to give a lot of people some ultimate credit. So basically backing up, saving not only his own life, but maybe not giving District 69 the tools they need to have a big ultimate to finish this fight.
84%. Shipa knows he has to go now. The time is popped. Mother's Grace is here.
Wall.
Walling off SunCommander. There's not a whole lot he can do, but Thiel's ultimate on the point.
Big time stuff there. Great wall again by Shipa. Maybe turning this around. Thiel gets knocked away. There's so much damage coming through from the combustible dragon, but eLvenpath falls yet again, and SunCommander on a 26 streak. Will this man die?
Overtime started. Shipa's still here. Shipa's still healthy. Bonkar's trying to provide support from the side room, but his Architectonics turrets are all that he has left. He doesn't have much HP to give. Thiel's here. Laizy's here. Bird is here. They're all ready to take it, and the GankStars will. As Shipa falls, the overtime will expire.
Oh my goodness, and just before Shipa fell, SunCommander loses his life for what feels like the first time in that entire game.
Yeah.
Goes down on a 28 streak. You gotta say, that guy just came to play today. But really for me, the story is GankStars came to play today. They are looking like this is a set they're not letting go at all. They know Valencia is on the back of this win.
They want to get back to what they're used to. 16 and 220. Wow, 27 streak, 102,000 damage. One of the few players to break that barrier. Bugzy does take top damage, though, with 124,000. Laizy right on his heels with 118K. But frankly, really solid stuff from everyone there. It's hard to comment, right? Because Thiel playing Ashe, this is the highest level that we've seen.
Yeah.
These are the best two teams in Paladins, period.
100%.
And it's tough to say, you know, what he was exactly going for right now, whether it was stalling, whether it was just getting in someone's face like a Fernando style, or whether he was trying to buy time on the point. He didn't spend much time on the objective. You can see only 64. So my bet is that he was, you know, trying to pressure out these backlines, looking at PERDOs, looking at gerrahs.
And I think the question as Ashe begins to be played is, how well can you min and max her? I think she is meant to be that bruiser role, a distractor. What I think in the future people will be looking for to determine how well Ashe played is not necessarily the amount of kills that she got, but the amount of assists. How much did she participate? She's got that big AoE cannon. She should be tagging everybody before they go down. And how many deaths does she have? 9? I think a little high for what Thiel wanted to do, especially with battering ram giving you that free out. That's going to, I think, determine as he gets more experience with her, those will go lower and lower and lower as he realizes when he's safe and when he needs to retreat.
So Ashe's first performance there. GankStars find their first win. Maybe it had a little bit to do with surprise factor. I don't know how much these two are scrimming each other. I don't know how much preparedness D69 have for the Ashe, but Frog Isle is where we will go next. And that's no weak map for GankStars either. No,
not at all. My only worry as I continue to look at this topic is that GankStars, D69, when they play each other, they play the same maps over and over again. You never see Ice Mines with these guys. You never see Timber Mill with these guys. You never really, unless it gets down to Game 5, see Fish Market. So, this is the best competition. This is the closest thing you're going to see to when you get to Valencia and you just have no prep against these guys when it really matters. But that's aside the point. They just want to win.
Just appears like they have a gentleman's agreement not to play those maps at all. GankStars go with the first pick Ruckus, though. It's working out very well for them. And it seems like SunCommander's tank, if they want to run triple tank, that's what they're going to go for. D69 with the Mako Barrack response. So Nara still on the table.
GankStars can follow up with Bomb King here, securing 2 tanks, typically what we'll see from European top teams. And they will select the Bomb King, getting that source of area damage they prefer. As far as GankStars' opinion, I think they value Bomb King much more than Drogo's.
Yep, I agree. And just being a little bit more comfortable with Laizy on it. He's been kind of pretty phenomenal, frankly, on it. We saw some very clutch moments from him in the first game, and Bugzy's good on either, so might as well get you what you're comfortable with.
Yeah. And again, Ashe, a big component here, the triple tank coming through. We saw, I believe it was the Barrack in replace of the Inara last game, but now the Inara, the Ruckus, and the Ashe, that's a ton of damage, but maybe not as a ton of defense, considering you probably are sacrificing maybe a little bit of that with Barrack being able to just get himself on the point.
Indeed. It'll be pretty interesting Pick up the Shaolin as well, just to have more threats from a long distance away. I think it's a little bit tougher for Ash to maybe get in the face of Shaolin as well, because I mean you just can't go toe-to-toe with Planted and come away with a victory.
The thing that I think is great about the lineup for both teams is either one has an opportunity to snowball this fight if one champion gets the situations they're looking for. Ash so good on Frog Isle, knocking off opponents, not only in the push, but at the beginning objective fight. So we'll see how that pays off yet again, seeing this one. And it's going to be Bird this time on Ripen Gourd, Bonkar on Mother's Grace, and Nara. Thiel taking that Ash to heart with Battering Ram, Accelerant Bomb King for Laizy, and Aerial Assault Ruckus for SunCommander.
It's going to be a half shell Makoa once again for eLvenpath. Shipa's got Architectonics, PERDO's got Recurve. Bugzy is taking Combustible with a Morale Boost and Immortal Reach with a Morale Boost for Gerrah. 2 Cots and a Wrecker for D69. 3 Cots and a Wrecker for the GankStars Bird. Just taking that Chronos for his Maldom. Wants to get as many Mending Spirits out as well as many Gourds.
Knockoff potential here so important for Ash. You see D69 warily proceeding over to the left side. eLvenpath the only one there because he has the distance with the hook. And now he gets up on the upper ledge. Thiel looking for a knockoff, doesn't quite get it, knocks away Barrack, and there it is, Shipa. First blood down. Goes to GankStars.
I've honestly seen that more than anything, right? Instead of going for knock offs the map, he's going to knock low mobility targets into his team, whether it's Saris or whether it's, you know, Barrack in that case.
And the thing is, knocking off Saris, she has no way to get back on the map. She could shadow travel, sure. You shadow travel right into the drink as you fall and to your death and go back to base. So Thiel happy to hold down that right ledge. She's a monster on Frog Isle. I'm telling you, this is a great map for not only GankStars, but this draft that they have.
Taking some damage though, sitting at about half HP. Makoa boxing out with him. PERDO's getting a ton of damage, right? Just free firing into this Ruckus, but right now the healing is going to be enough from Bird just to keep him safe.
Oh God, Eric is just looking lost right now, has no way to impact this point right now, and PERDO going into the withdrawal, gonna stun into Thiel on the rock. Great place by PERDO, trying to make it a double there, goes into the planted mid-air. PERDO, special stuff from him, but 1-0 go to GankStars.
Too little too late. I mean, Laizy and Thiel won their 2v2 against Shipa and Bugzy over on this left side ledge, and as a result there's just a big wide open flank to the back line, and meanwhile GankStars are just capturing the payload that entire time. So great control of the team fight, and it's so funny to watch. At this level of play, they completely ignore the point until the fight is won one way or another.
And that's so important. They need the advantage. And how do you get it? You go ahead and take down who's that keystone? Who's going to help you to win and snowball this fight? Right now, there's so many tanks on the side of GankStars. It's tough to decide because give them one, and they've got 2 others that they got to take down. Great stuff by Combustible. Drogo's there hitting a big damage shot, looking for one more out of the air. Great play by Bugzy, helping eLvenpath to pick up the kill on the Laizy.
The depth precision detonations of these fire spits will never get old to me. Like
he dropped, he lost booster and dropped and readjusted.
Yeah,
oh my God.
It's just at any stage of the game, they are just blowing up exactly where he wants, exactly where they need to be. And it's really awesome to watch.
If he misses this one, that'd be kind of silly, but he actually gets it. Emitter right there. Bugzy absolutely on point on Frog Isle, and a great map for Joe. Goes up into the air though. Here comes Laizy, and he gets a kill right onto PERDO. Bugzy misses the fire spit point blank, but follows up with a direct impact rocket that will send Laizy back to base. Dragon Punch, ready to go, Nick. He's looking for someone, but he's taking a lot of damage, and he grabs Bonkar.
Oh, looks like Gerrah's just going to be able to bail him out here. 2 more seconds so he can get another heal. Thiel's putting a lot of pressure on him. Shoulder charge up into the air. Only 1,000 HP left. Bugzy barely escapes with his life, and a deep breath after that one.
And this is where Thiel needs to be careful. He's not got Battering Ram yet. He's going to be able to charge out, but it's too late.
Wow.
eLvenpath snags him up, and that's going to be 100. Excuse me. Yeah, I almost called him a hunter there because he just is in that role of hunting down that backline target that D69 leaves exposed. But these fire spits luckily run into SunCommander. D69 holding for now, 25 seconds on the clock.
Fire spit can come out again, and just already back to 75% on his Dragon Punch. Bugzy putting so much damage into this GankStar lineup. It's pretty amazing that Bird's been able to keep everybody topped off, everyone's positioned correctly, not to have to worry about it. Oh, that fire spit narrowly going to miss Laizy, who's running away with 1 HP right now.
It seems like he's been so much better at hitting the long distance fire spits than the close range ones from what we've seen here on this push. It's overtime. It means that anybody who steps away from the point, if a Combustible knocks him away, it could mean the end. It hits 2. Bird content to stay back. PERDO still free firing in the back line. Takes 1 down. PERDO on the shot lane. Playing lights out right now. Seeing if he can keep this defense successful for his team, and he will.
That's definitely going to be it. And they lose 1 tank. Bird's extremely low, has to retreat to heal another low health tank, and already in overtime, not a great look. Not a lot of momentum given up at any point during that. And a lot of that due to PERDO as well, getting that 2v1 with the planted. That was a lot of momentum that could have potentially snowballed that payload immediately to where that whole push ended in that round. So giving up or saving a lot of free payload push there was PERDO on his Shaolin. Everyone's got level 2 offensives for D639, that needs and gerrah and bugzy. The only one's not quite at that mark, but they'll be just fine. I think with the amount of coverage that they have, 3 wreckers is plenty. I think especially given the amount of shielding is not that high. It's only 5K from Ash, 3K from Ruckus. Should be able to do with it just fine.
So much red, that's what you want to do if you're starting your Paladins games. Offensive items, definitely the choice to make. And right now, look at how fast Thiel goes in. He's going for the battering ram, but he takes him out. A dramatic clash between 2 forces. Immovable is Ash, but oh man, she can take damage.
That was awesome. There comes the counter initiation with the seismic crash into the backline. Dread Serpent as well. Bugzy's locked down.
Great stuff there by Bird to finish off the damage dealer of D69, and Shipa falls as a result. SunCommander on a 6 streak, looking to make it 7 here. Can't find the kill. The wall will help to just delay a little bit of the onslaught from D69, and GankStars have established position yet again.
PERDO in a bad spot, but he gets bailed out yet again by gerrah, who's been able to help so many teammates out of bad situation with just raw healing throughput from Sarasberg, trying to make his way around to this point.
This is good.
Kinetic burst could be dangerous here. And this just
I don't
puts
get it.
Shipa in a bad spot.
But I get that, but if he shield bashes there, he knocks Shipa into the air. He can't fall off of the ledge the way he's facing. And I just think he has the opportunity to get an easy knock off of this map. And D69, as a result of maybe the hesitation, maybe the misplay, they reestablished themselves onto the point. They're about to go ahead, Nick, 96%. GankStars trying to get back as fast as they can, but the objective goes to D69.
Too little, too late. SunCommander, that call came out a couple seconds after it should have if they really wanted to get that contest. The GankStars give up another payload, go down 2-1.
2 minutes and 15 seconds to do what they need to do. Thiel actually charges a little farther than he probably anticipated, gets stunned into the back line, and this Ash pick, which looks so strong, and I think can be so strong on this map, still I think showing the colors of inexperience by Thiel. And I love the direction they've taken, though, just really choosing to be the first to kind of implement this new champion in the realm.
And it's
gonna take time.
It's what are they going for, though? It's like if he's not going for knockoff, he's not taking knockoff cards. That's not what he's thinking of. It looks to me more like he's looking to knock people. He's looking to shoulder bash past somebody with low mobility and kinetic burst them back into his team.
Yes, in terms of knockback, I don't think that's what's being the deciding factor for why they're picking up Ash. In my eyes, they're going for Ash to be the distractor. Exactly what he did to Bugzy. If Bugzy didn't have the Dragon Punch there, Thiel might have won that fight. You never know. I mean, the fact that he's got the shield, he's got the CC immunity, the damage reduction, it's really a math equation, we like to call it. And unfortunately, Bugzy just beats him out with a 1-hit KO.
And it looks like, you know, because he's not going for the knockback cards off the map, they are still keeping in that realm of thinking. Thiel almost gets taken off the map, tries to knock back eLvenpath.
Wow.
You can see the silhouette battle coming out here. Shoulder charging out, but just the displacement, right? It's maybe a different substitute for Makoa.
Oh, look at this, juggling in the air. Bugzy helping to secure Thiel yet again. He's knocked him this way and that. And finally, one of the 3 front lines for GankStars goes down. It looks like this tank-heavy composition is starting to show a little bit of their weakness here as Bugzy continues to dominate with this clumped-up group of enemies.
Here comes the Dragon Punch. Bugzy takes a lot of damage for it. It actually goes down mid-air. Bird shuts him down.
Big-time convergence coming through. No, they're going to back off. That's the call. gerrah just wants to back off. Can't get the Rin Soul there. Won't give him the health back, which he would have gotten 15% per each orb that was stacked onto an opponent. And eLvenpath here actually getting delayed because GankStars, they're pros. They know the longer he stays alive, the least amount of time he's going to be able to regroup with his team and get back to this point.
And that's a pretty big deal here. Only 15 seconds remain. eLvenpath will be able to return to this fight, but it's going to be basically an overtime scenario. Somebody's going to have to dive on this payload. Who is it going to be?
It's going to be so tough. They've got Ash's ultimate. They've got Rux. They've got King Bomb. So much de-initiation, but you know what they don't have? The Dread Serpent, which I think could be the game changer here. Bird doesn't have that charged up, so it does leave a little bit of room for a convergence to do the deed, especially off a big combustible Bugzy. He misses it. Thiel goes up into the air. He's invulnerable, and bonkar takes him down.
They get a lot of ultimates there and a convincing defensive win. eLvenpath again, the last one to fall. About even in the amount of ultimates that they used. The big notes there were Seismic Crash are almost ready to go and 20% off the mark on his Dread Serpent. Bird with Another big cooldown coming up. Thiel using his ultimate, which is not super important. I think Ashalt is going to be pretty niche about when it's going to be useful, especially given this District 69 comp. He could be pulled out of his ultimate by Convergence. He can be knocked out by Impaler Arrow. He can be hooked out of his ultimate. He can be knocked out by Fire Spit. There are so many things that go wrong with that ultimate.
Yeah.
I don't hate Thiel using that ultimate one bit when he knows he can get some good value out of it.
One of the interesting things, too, if you get a high-level Ashe play, thinking about where the ultimate is placed is important, because if you use your CC immunity at the time they're trying to take you out of it, you could just dash yourself and do like a wall that's right next to you if you've placed it correctly and stay in that ultimate when they miss their hook or they miss their combustible. Just high-level stuff. Probably not going to see that right now, but definitely a possibility as Thiel continues to learn this. Wall goes up, bonkar just on a 10 streak, trying to stay alive as much as possible, and the pressure's definitely felt by D69. They're retreating already.
Put some good damage into eLvenpath. Laizy surging forward, needs to be careful though. He's sitting at about half HP right now. Eats another big shot from Fire Spit. Combustible gonna put him even lower. GankStars with an early win.
Nothing! Nothing
Nice
from the
old
Convergent!
gerrah.
Nothing from Gerrah's ultimate. Laizy with a double kill. bonkar with one, and Bird follows up on another. A completely whiffed Convergence by Saris. This is uncharacteristic of gerrah, who is one of the best healers in Europe. And that just has got to be leaving D69 scratching their heads.
I mean, look at the exploitation of that mistake, though. How convincing was that team fight once GankStars saw that big mistake? One mistake from D69, and GankStars just clean up that fight.
It's because it's demoralizing. It's because for D69, they're like, wait, what?
They got to make a new plan really quickly after that, too.
We were counting
they
on
figure that out.
I mean, the best teams in Paladins absolutely are able to adjust mid-game and adjust mid-round to be able to say, okay, that didn't work well. How do we stay viable in this fight? And how do we, pick off the person that we need to pick off? The only person on a streak right now, yet again, still SunCommander on GankStars for 8. This guy's playing out of his mind, Nick. We're not mentioning him enough for how good he's doing.
Yeah, he's playing pretty safe. He has Thiel that's doing a lot of the diving for him. Laizy's doing a lot of the diving for him. A lot of people are getting aggressive in place of SunCommander. He's just kind of shooting from the point. He's not doing too much craziness. So as a result, he has been able to pull off some pretty low death rounds here. Even bonkar on this side. Nara has been getting more aggressive.
I mean, I think an 8 streak isn't that exciting, but when you combine it with this 28 streak from last game, I just think you can kind of put 2 and 2 together and say SunCommander's definitely showed up today, and so is Laizy. This guy, he's been a monster on the Bomb King and just getting so much damage mid-air, finds 900 and forces eLvenpath to retreat. It's the little things that make a big difference.
Some of these days just looks like Laizy can't miss, and when the ultimates are connecting, it is that much of a nightmare for you.
What a complete, absolute quintessential Bomb King ultimate. That is how it's supposed to be done. Laizy ultimate trying to redefine what it means to ult as Laizy. This is looking a lot better on his portfolio. I think he's going to use that clip in the future.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Jensen is ready for land here on the GankStars. Strong zone coming out as well. Convergence coming through this time. It's going to connect big time into 3 members. Thiel drops his ultimate to try and stay alive. Big ultimate conversions from both sides, though.
This is so important, Nick. They've got to hold here. It's only 2 that they need to win to push it forward and secure the 4 wins in this tournament. Tries to maybe jump off Laizy. That actually doesn't work, buddy.
I choose my fate.
And that's a Laizy poppy bomb if I've ever seen one. And he's good on the ult, but now he's got to work on
there. I look at that area of Frog Isle a lot. It's never really relevant.
Well, now he knows.
But I'm always wondering, I'm like, can you actually go off that area of the map? The answer's no. Nice reactionary Mother's Grace pop there from bonkar. Actually stays alive. He would have 100% been knocked off the map. Early kill onto Laizy. That was going to make this very difficult for GankStars to find a conversion.
I mean, now we'll see how much Laizy has been having to do with the success of GankStars. And look at this, overtime slipping away. Look at bugzy free firing here. No pressure from Bomb King. Another kill. I mean, look at the impact Laizy is having when he's not in these fights. Just his mere lack of presence makes it an easy defense for District 69.
Yep, easy. First kill on Laizy, second kill on Thiel. That is every threat for bugzy. He can just free fire the rest of the team fight, and that's an easy L for the GankStars. They're just going to hold that one, take it back to base. 3-3 scenario, though. It has felt very close on either payload push. District 69 coming very close as well. 61% on the King Bomb. SunCommander has Hexafire. Bird has his Dread Serpent, and a little bit off the mark for a couple of these ultimate. Ancient Rage, no Dome Shield, no Convergence. So I think I'm going to go ahead and give the ult advantage to the GankStars on this one. Heat Haze isn't an auto win. Dragon Punch, Bugsy's been dying after 90% of them.
It hasn't been, yeah.
But yeah, it's just the correct counterplay, right? There's nothing really Bugzy can do. If he has to start a fight with Dragon Punch, he's probably going to go down for it.
Up into the air with a salvo, gets some good damage on the Laizy. He's about half health, and Thiel hits a combustible, finds 2 on that one. Dragon Punch coming through, wants it, and already will, and he stays alive. Dread Serpent in the air, Bird trying to just capitalize on any mistake they could make, but D69 stay flawless here, only losing eLvenpath and trade for bonkar.
And, not a super high value Dread Serpent, but separates D69 from eLvenpath there. Pulls in 2. Laizy looks like he might go down, but a big repulsor field provides some mitigation. Not enough. Laizy is going to fall.
Yeah, and that was huge. SunCommander still staying alive off the streak, as you will notice, and now it's 3-3. If D69 win this, they keep their hopes alive of taking first place and overtaking GankStars. Yet to find a win in the Summer Premiere, looking for it here.
SunCommander deciding to finally get aggressive. No, but bonkar's going to take him out. Here comes Laizy rolling in on the King Bomb, looking for Bugzy around the corner. He's going to find it. One shot from bonkar, and it's good. GankStars back in the driver's seat.
45% on both totals. eLvenpath leaving Laizy alone, decides to stay on the point and try to finish off Bird. He's going to slither away, and now his attention that was turned to one source is no longer there. Laizy gets stunned in by PERDO. Can he finish him off in the air? 630 health to his name. Shaolin's arrow just misses, and Laizy stays alive.
Up into the trees for better or for worse. Laizy got caught on a branch, and it may have bought him the hang time that he needed. Now D69 on the back foot, 81%. Big pull-in from eLvenpath, but it just helps Thiel get back to his team.
93, 96 kinetic burst to knock him off, and GankStars with 4-0 here in the Summer Premiere qualifiers. They are going to basically cement themselves
what a way to qualify.
First place and qualify to see you in Spain. In under a month, they will be playing for $100,000 at the Summer Premiere. Congratulations to GankStars. 4-0, unbeaten, and over D69 no less. Two games.
2 in a row.
Wow.
Sets a big precedent. These guys have a big reputation for being dominant on LAN. Frankly, I think have a winning record against District 69 on LAN for the greater part of Paladins esports lifetime. Tied in terms of LAN wins. Actually, D69 won DreamHack, so they're up 2-1. So this is to tie up, I guess, the head-to-head series. These two teams have clashed in the finals of every major Paladins LAN that we have ever had. So a really cool way to qualify, despite being 1-11 on the Ashe. The kinetic burst knocking that little poor Barrack away from his contest.
Yeah, he ended up dying, but the kinetic burst would have been enough to knock him away, and it's just so exciting to see these new champions picked up. I mean, if you can see Ashe being viable in the hands of a team that's about to qualify, playing the best competitor that they can have in a basically a clinching scenario, I mean, it's down to the wire. They picked her. They see some support here. Not too sure if I'm excited about a tank meta coming back into Paladins, but she's more of a bruiser, like we mentioned earlier before.
Everybody's kind of bruisery. Like Inara's pretty bruisery, Barrack's pretty bruisery, and definitely Ashe is definitely just kind of in her own bully category. She doesn't really provide a whole lot of control to the fight. She just continues to chunk at you and juggle you and make you feel small and insignificant.
And she is a hot lady right there. Fernando is in love for a good reason. Thank you guys so much for watching Paladins Esports. We'll be right back with set number 2 of the day. I believe it'll be D69 versus WASD.
Correct.
And this is a big game for D69. They've got to win this one. WASD licking their fingers now, knowing that D69 have some chinks in the armor. Want to see if they can tackle the juggernauts who might have just fallen.